Well, welcome to the Top Gun Show, where I try to bring you new providers, new technologies, and introduce you to the best professionals in the industry, all so you can make informed decisions. Today, I'd like to welcome a very special guest to the show. I'd like to welcome Jeremy Jones, the Managing Director of AppDirect Capital and Head of Sales Operations. After spending 6 years at Megapath as Senior Vice President of Sales, Jeremy was the VP of Sales and then the COO of Stratacore for 7 years. Stratacore joined the AppDirect family in early 2023. Jeremy, you made it! You're on the Top Gun Show.
Yeah. Finally. Long time coming.
Oh my gosh, it's been hard. Elon Musk is going to be easier to get on the show than you are. Man, I'm glad you made it. Thank you.
Most welcome.
Well, hey, let's get right to it. Why don't you describe the AppDirect Capital Program and how it has played into the meteoric growth of AppDirect?
Yeah, no, we help advisors in a lot of ways and help them grow their businesses. And one of the areas that we can help them out in is the capital program. And we do this in a couple of ways. We have our traditional invest program. We've done a lot of these, 15 transactions up to this point. And this is really allowing for an advisor to take some chips off the table, invest back in their business, stand up a platform, do something outside of their business. Gives them a lot of opportunity and options there. Allows them to keep a residual flow going and allows them to own their growth above and beyond the transaction that we do there. We also have stood up recently a commission advance program. So if somebody's not looking to sell part of the asset that is their cash flows in perpetuity, they can do a commission advance against future commissions, allows them to pull some cash forward, hire a person, buy somebody, do those kinds of things. And this is all through our partnership with CDPQ. We just announced a few months ago a $100 million fund with CDPQ, one of the largest pension funds in Canada, which gives us an investor who's got conservative lens on what they want to invest in and a longer term horizon, which is quite different than things like private equity and other options in the marketplace here.
Yeah, it is quite different. I mean, why don't you describe how the AppDirect Capital Program, or as we call it, the Invest Program, is different from traditional, and I'll use the word acquisition programs. It's not quite an acquisition because we don't own the stock in these companies, but how is this program different than traditional?
Yeah, so if you're talking about a traditional M&A transaction, right? Like, first and foremost, we're not diluting the equity in the business. So as you mentioned, we're not buying into the equity table. An advisor still owns their business completely. They don't have to answer to a boss or an investor, which is something that you've typically got to do there. And with M&A, there's a lot of uncertainty that gets introduced. For instance, you may be presented a nice, attractive offer, but as you peel back that offer a little bit, you've got things like an earnout that you've got to do, which creates responsibility on your end to earn the entire amount that they're going to provide to you. They may give you something like a convertible note. They may give you rollover equity, and you got to try and understand what's that worth and when might it be worth that. And maybe it will, and maybe it won't. So there's some uncertainty when you're looking at an M&A transaction, while our program is just coming in to zero in on the asset that is the recurring residual cash flows, buying a part of that for an upfront cash consideration, leaving residuals beyond that flowing to the advisor so they continue to operate. But one of the beautiful parts of our program is the advisor owns all of the growth above and beyond that asset that we purchase. So in the normal TSD advisor split, they get to enjoy all of the growth there, which makes it quite a bit different than an M&A where somebody's trying to buy that future growth from you.
Yeah, that's incredible. I mean, it really is the best of both worlds. They get a wheelbarrow full of money to do what they want with, and they still own the business. It's incredible.
Right. Yeah.
No wonder the thing's growing like a weed. You've covered a lot of it, but what are some of the other, lastly here, what are some of the other benefits of the program for technology sales advisors and MSPs? I don't think people really understand. We also are looking at MSP business.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of benefit just strictly joining AppDirect as an advisor, and I'm sure you and our team can talk a lot about that. But within the Invest program, you've got all the mechanics and the financial mechanics that go around these types of transactions, but you've got like a whole bunch of other things. So we do premium operations. We can do, and I mean that by sales support, project management, light renewals, those kinds of things. We also have the ability to bring account management as a service into play to help augment an advisor where they may lack a capability around a technology, or maybe they want to focus on enterprise customers, but they want someone to mind a part of their base. We've got the ability to do that exclusively for our invest partners only. And then I think one of the most important things, Steve, is as we do these transactions, we've done, as you mentioned, like 15 plus of these here. We really get to know these advisors. We understand the best practices that they're bringing. We try and bring that DNA into this ecosystem here. And I think we also see a lot of like great relationships developing between our invest participants who can also help each other where they're at various points in their journey. And I think that brain trust there allows them to do better, but also allows us to do better. It helps everybody grow, and all of our ships in this program sort of rise, as you will.
That's great. It's so right. I mean, there's just something special about being part of the AppDirect family. And, I've gone to events where invest partners are chatting with each other and sharing best practices and really leading on each other in the resources of AppDirect. Well said, man. Great job. No wonder you're running this program. You do such an incredible job. Well, hey, Jeremy, I know you're a big fan of the Top Gun Show, and then I know there are millions and millions of people watching you right now.
Yeah.
Why don't you tell the viewers what your very first job was?
Well, I'm a proud alumni of working at the movie theater as my first job. So started out running the Hokey, which is the little like vacuum cleanery push thing that you pick up all the popcorn with. Made my way into concession sales, where I'm proud to say I was the top concession salesman at the movie theater, and then launched my career on from there out into the office supply industry and IT, and here I am today. So couldn't be where I am today without Crossroads Cinema in Bellevue, Washington.
I love it. Two cinema questions for you. Did you add on the sale if somebody ordered popcorn? He's like, would you like a Coke and fries with that? Or did you naturally add on the sale?
Always, Steve. Yeah, always be selling, right? So like I prided myself in understanding where I stood against the other people there. As you can see our sales at the end of the night when we counted out the tills. And so I always wanted to be counting out more than anyone else. So I would always be trying to make sure that customers knew all the options and try and fit what they were looking for and deliver them as much as I could.
Well, one other question I have for you, and this has always bothered me. Why, when you walk in the theater, you buy a ticket, you walk up to the guy to let you in, and he tears the ticket a little bit? Why do they tear the ticket? They like really get off on tearing that ticket. And if it's not torn, they freak out.
Well, I think it goes back to like a security principle, right? Like I don't want to let somebody else go get that ticket and now come back in and use the same ticket again. And obviously now we're in the digital world, it's quite a bit different, but that's my assumption of why we did that crazy practice of ripping the ticket on the way in.
All right. Well, now you know. Top Gun Show will bring you that information. If you want more information about our Invest program at AppDirect, reach out to Jeremy Jones in the link here on LinkedIn. You can always also reach out to me. I'll get you engaged with Jeremy and his team and that kind of thing. Jeremy, I know you're real busy. Thank you for all the hard work you've done to make AppDirect what it is today, and maybe more importantly, what it's going to be tomorrow. Thanks for carving out time to be with me on the Top Gun Show today.
My pleasure, Steve. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Thanks for watching, everybody.
Yep. Cheers.